I was talked into diving when I was at Bowling Green State University. It was the spring quarter. My buddy at the time and my roommate at the time decided we wanted to take diving because my buddy's roommate was a certified diver. And I'd always watched Jacques Cousteau and everything, but it was not one of those things that I actively went out and wanted to do. But it sounded cool. And why did I want to? I started then, but why did I want to do it? It was a credit hour, to be quite honest, for college, and it was a cheap one. We started off with about 5, 6 weeks of snorkeling, and I can tell you for the exact moment when we went to scuba and we were underneath the water, and what they would do is hold us down, have us do skills. And I came home after breathing underneath the water. I said, I know I want to do this the rest of my life. That's what, it was the feeling of being underneath the water. It's weightlessness. It's the ability to breathe underneath the water, to get close up to fish. But as they say, it's the closest thing to being an astronaut. It makes me feel happy. It's I guess I can put it the best way. One of my clients told me, she's a doctor, she said, diving is her Prozac and makes her happy. Well, diving for me it makes me happy. I knew after I got certified, a year later I became an instructor, and I knew I was going to start a business. Luckily, the business I got trained at, he sold it to me. And so I was able to go into a business that was already there, so I didn't have to work from the very beginning. And it's been a long struggle, but it's also been very worthwhile. I've made some great friends, and I've met some really cool people and been to amazing places. My approach to teaching is pretty simple. It's all about the student. As I say, if you have an instructor and everything's about them, as we say, look at me, I'm the teacher. That's the wrong way. It should be all about you as the student. And it's what you need, what makes you a better diver, what makes you more comfortable trying to understand what bothers you and what doesn't. Every time you dive, you learn something about your equipment, your dive buddy, or the dive site. It's a constant knowledge. You're constantly learning. You don't think once you get certified you can do anything. No, you got a license to learn. There's not really one thing. There's three things. You have to dive, you have to own your equipment, and you should include travel in it, because those three things, as I say, you dive, you become better. You own your equipment, it fits you personally. But when you travel, it's for the soul. So anybody that's unsure, just come in and try it. You'll know right away. You'll either like it, you'll hate it, or you'll go, and you'll go, man, this is interesting, but you'll have to decide, do I want to spend the money to get certified or not? But if you're that 20-25% that like it, your life's changed. Somebody asked me exactly what I did, and I said, I will teach you a sport that most people won't do. You'll be able to see 70% of the world that most people will never see. I will sell you only the best equipment. And I will take you on bucket list trips that you never thought you would go on. And you'll go with us, and you'll feel safe, and you'll know that you're taken care of. And you'll be able to see the world in a different light. We've opened people's eyes to not this little Toledo, Ohio, as I say, to be able to see things all across the world, and to have our clients, when I go out with them for dinner, and we talk about our past trips, and we talk about places we've gone. So, if you're adventurous, you want to see the world, come see us. I'm passionate about what I do. I'm passionate about teaching people how to dive. I'm passionate about them doing it the right way. I'm passionate about them changing how they view life. So professional, I guess I see myself very professional. But I see myself more passionate than professional. I wouldn't change anything, because it brought me 3 great kids. I've been able to see the world. I've met great clients. And in its own way, Toledo is a very inexpensive place to live. And it allows me to go see the world because I have extra money to go travel with. The reason it's special is because I've seen how I've affected people's lives. People are passionate about it. I mean, we can post a trip on Facebook and it's filled in 12 hours. You know, clients are willing to give us $10,000 for a trip and not even think about it. Or as one person said, Adventures by Jeff or Adventures by Ian. And we just did a trip to Costa Rica, and my client wrote me a little message and said, Jeff, I need an adventure. And halfway through I said, Debbie? And she goes, yeah, I got my adventure. She said, thank you. They've been on 14 trips with me as a family, so that's why. I want people to feel what I feel underneath the water. They get what I get underneath the water, to know what it's like to be underneath the water. So that's why I like teaching. It completely gives you a different perspective on life. Environmentally, it gives you a different on travel. It gives you a different on being able to do things that most people will never do. And isn't life supposed to be an adventure? So this is the best way to have an adventure.